Snap now. I'm gonna take it to the foot one time. Okay.
So much money, nigga, I can't even cash out yet. And I ain't the type to flex no money, but you won't see it in my drill. And if you close to me, you won't see it how I live. You can't take my heart from me. That is something I gotta give, but I just got a heart. Cause the way I used to live, now I'm stuck with these hoes and Roddy diamond hoes. You ain't talking M's, look buddy, nigga.
The light is still blinking. The light is still blinking. What up, 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 family?
Hey.
What's going on, family?
We're back again.
Are we back again?
Another wonderful show, another amazing, exciting show.
Exciting show.
We're doing it again.
Yeah, we are. We got a special guest tonight. We can go ahead and let her introduce herself real quick. Then we can get into our Zen moments, our topics, and we're going to dive into the show. We got the lovely, multi-talented
Morgan Wright.
Morgan Wright.
Morgan Reezy.
Yeah.
Established.
Yeah. We're just going to start off. Just want to tell the family a little bit about yourself before we get to dive into it. So the family gets. So this is a view. You're in the family's house now. We all family now. So go ahead.
Okay, we had to get this. Is that sound okay? Because I think I have to talk louder.
No, you good. If they did a mic check, that means you are perfect just like you are.
Yep.
I am a retired veteran. I was a signals intelligence analyst for 20 years.
Okay.
But I live in East Baltimore now. I grew up in Southeast DC. And I'm a community activist, and I purposely bought a house in a neighborhood that I know where the untapped potential exists.
All right. We're gonna dive a little bit into that. We're gonna dive into that. Because that's already exciting.
Exactly,
I'm already
right?
excited.
Exactly.
I'm already diving into it.
That's deep.
But before we dive into that, we're gonna see my. Who are you?
I'm Eric.
Okay, that's
exactly.
it.
I'm just gonna say Eric. I'm not even gonna make a big thing.
Okay.
Man, I'm just your brother. We just trying to figure out this thing called life.
There you
know
go.
What I mean? Trying to figure it out. Spinning on this rock. Going around the sun. And,
yeah,
you know
man.
What I mean, we just walking each other home with this thing. But to say it's an exciting show and do a little bit of grounding. Usually I start like this, just a little bit of grounding. All is well. Universe is working out to benefit of my higher self or our higher self. Out of this experience, only good can come. We are safe. We'll start there, and you know what I mean. That grounds me a little bit. It grounds us a little bit. I think we all need a minute, just every day, or whenever we feel a little bit of stress and anxiety, just take a minute to do that.
Okay.
And I mean that helps me throughout my day, and I like doing that before I start the show, just to kind of get me woosah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Want to do a story? You want to do a story? We can do a quick story.
Not yet. I'm gonna introduce myself first. Okay, you don't mind if I introduce myself?
No, everybody know who you are.
No. Everybody don't know who I am. Everybody, let me introduce myself. My name is Dennis, D to the E. Oh, I'm gonna kick them bars. We got a talent scout right here.
Exactly.
We got a booking agency. We got a promoter right here.
He's gonna show off.
Hey, we got the contract. I got my contract already. I'm gonna sign for you. How that sound? I got the contract. I got my contract already ready to sign for you because I got these bars over here. You just heard them then, right?
Nah, you gonna show off. Nah, you gonna show off.
All right, family.
We gotta do it again.
No. Only I don't do freestyle. You gotta pay for them.
Great.
Hello, family. Yeah. Hello, family. How y'all doing? Y'all know who I am. I'm Dennis, man. I'm just here back here, just try to. Just put a little bit of light on this dark place that some people are in or some people are at. Just give somebody that's a little bit of hope. That if you are feeling down just a little bit, I'm here to tell you to get up. You can do it. I'm saying get up. You can do it. What up, Bmore for real, man? I saw your show last night, man. This morning, man, your show is awesome, man. I love you guys, man. What's up, fam? Bmore Pod said, Bmore for real Pod said, what's up, family? We locked in and we're with you, man. Hey, man, I'm with you too, my brothers. But this is what this show about. This show about to tell you can get up, you can do it, and the only person can stop you is you, because the talent lies inside of you. Yeah. But sometimes before we get to that point, say it's inside of you. Sometimes we need just a little bit of Zen moment from the master Zen. You got a Zen moment for him?
I'm gonna come up with something quick.
Okay.
Quick story. So this one's about a guy who was walking in the forest, and he was on a mission. He was trying to find this shaman who he heard could heal anything. He could heal anybody. He could work miracles. He was pretty good. So he's going through the forest trying to find a guy. He's got a backpack on. He's moving. He runs into a monk praying, and he asks the monk, "Hey man, I'm trying to find a shaman that can work miracles." Monk says, "Yeah, I know the guy. You're on the right path. Just keep going. You'll probably you'll see him down the road. But watch out. There's a big old tiger." Like that's lurking around, you know what I mean? Watch out for. He's mean, he's cunning, big old tiger, just be safe. So the guy was like, all right. So he goes try to, keeps on the path, trying to find the shaman, and he's worried about the tiger the whole time, obviously. So he goes on, and after a while, he meets the shaman. He's like, hey, I've been looking for you. People said you can do a lot of stuff, so I need some help. I got some problems. Some stuff I'm dealing with. I need some healing. And Shaman said, okay, I'll do it for you. So right about, when they're getting ready to start the healing process, they hear a growl around the corner, and they look up, and it's a tiger right there. And of course the guy's like, whoa, so he drops his bag, he runs, starts to run off, and the shaman's there, he's in his right mind. He checks out the situation, and he can see what's going on. And he knows the tiger's not trying to get the guy. The tiger's trying to get the bag, because the guy had brought some meat to pay the shaman. So the tiger's looking for the bag, and the guy's running and scared. So he takes the bag, he throws it to the tiger, and the tiger's got the bag with the meat in it because that's what he wants. And then he looks over at the guy, and he's like, that's all he wanted. It was a misunderstanding. Like, you thought he was coming for you. The tiger didn't want anything from you. He wanted the meat that was in the bag. Mm-hmm. And so the moral of that story kind of, we usually get caught up in our stress and our anxiety, and we kind of preconceive, situations. Like, you run into somebody, you kind of assume what they want out of you, or they say something, you kind of misinterpret it. It's like a good practice. I think the moral of the story is a good practice sometimes. Just meet people with an open mind, open heart. Don't prejudge stuff. Don't prejudge conditions. Don't because you might misinterpret something. And usually that's how misunderstandings are. So if you go open mind, one day at a time, usually things work out. Positivity, open heart, treat each other with kindness, no preconceived, no judgments, no preconceived notions.
Awesome, that's awesome.
We're gonna go with that. Yep.
Awesome. What do you think about that? What do you think about that, Morgan?
Oh, I am definitely been a victim of preconceived notions.
Oh yeah. I think we all have.
Exactly.
I think we all have.
That's the
I'm gonna go to the chat real quick.
Right.
It said Andy said, "What's up, Andy? Good to see you."
What's up, Andy?
I'm glad to see you. He said, "What up?
Yep,
He said, "Love the opening vibes, man." But hey, y'all the one give me this energy to get this. You know what I'm saying? What up, Lisa?
Yep,
I'm glad to see you here.
Hey, Lisa.
Glad to hear you say, "What's up, Lisa?"
Yep. Podcast Kings.
Podcast King Network. I love it. Podcast King Network. Good all evening. Hey, man, who's Podcast King Network? Y'all got to help me out with that, man. I'm glad y'all here, man. Love you, brothers.
Love you.
Hey, man, we got to do some networking together.
Exactly. That's what it's about.
Yeah, we got to do some networking. So I want to dive right into it since she's right here. Do you want to say anything before we dive into this dynamite show? Look, I heard so much about you even before I met you. I heard you wore a lot of hats, and you do a lot of things, and all I heard was nothing but positive stuff.
I know, but I like to be in the back. I'm like the lady in the back. I don't need.
But that's
people
okay. But I tell you what, that light in the back make shine up on everything. It brightens everything up, and that's what I heard that you did.
Right.
I heard your light your light put a shine on everything.
I'm trying.
You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about your community your activists though, your community service. So what kind of community service do you do?
Right now, I am working with a bunch of different people to start a kids literacy program, which would include using the influencers to change what they're influencing in order for the influence to change. Okay. So taking the things that kids are interested in but might not tell that person, or might not, it's not cool enough, and putting an influencer that has a little bit more credibility or whatever in the whatever context that they need the credibility in, and put them behind it. Like I use an example. I call him a kid because he's in his 20s, early 30s, in England
Okay.
named Francis, who is a train spotter, and he has over 5
what
point
is a
train spotter.
What is that?
He watches trains, and he
Trains.
trains.
Choo-choo trains.
yeah,
Choo-choo.
literally train
Choo-choo
spot.
trains.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
And it's amazing because that is his thing.
Right.
I
And
ain't
he
nothing wrong with
has
that.
over
Everybody be something.
5.3 million followers between TikTok and Instagram doing what he loves.
Okay.
But
That's
I have
what
a
the
kid
show
in
is about.
Edmondson Village. I have a almost 15-year-old kid that wants to own his own airline, but he also likes trains. So
Okay.
I'm working right now, waiting for Amtrak to get back to me so we can get him permission to go down there and
Okay.
then throw an influencer behind him.
Right.
I don't care what you do out here. For this
That's
20
it.
minutes, you're going to ooh and ah, and you're going to act like that's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
And when they see that that's cool, we've just glorified the wrong things.
I agree with you. I agree with you. We had
And I'm responsible for
yeah,
parts
we
of it.
all are.
Yeah.
I tell you what, we had a couple of weeks ago. We had a young lady on here that she was basically doing the same thing you did, and she said the same thing. She does like for the children, and she did I can't.
Who was that?
2 shows ago.
Oh, the kids literacy. She
The
has
kids-
the kids
literacy program.
Yeah, I wanted to get in touch with her because she has the one that yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right, yeah, right.
yeah, but
right
she
down
said the
street.
same thing. She said that's how. Because that was one of my questions to her. Everybody said the kids are bad as I don't know what. Then she said, well, the kids aren't bad. She don't have any problems with the kids. And I'm saying, so what are you doing so different? What are you doing so different with the kids? Because
You find
everybody
out
said
what
the
they're
kids.
interested in.
Yeah,
That's
find
exactly what
they're
she said.
interested in, Yeah.
That's
You
exact-
find out what they're interested in, and I've talked to some of the rappers that people would look at, and be like, oh, well, they would never say anything positive. And I bring up the fact we didn't become gangsters. Y'all didn't become gangsters in order for your kids to get into this shit.
Yes.
You want to,
Yes.
you
but
want to
We'll beep it out
provide a
in the
different,
thing.
a different
a different environment.
Yes.
So when you're warming up to your beats, and you're thinking about what you're gonna say, give me some ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. Give me some multiplication tables. Give me something
I got you.
positive. I don't care what you're talking about out here. We need a separate subset
Yes.
that these kids can listen to first.
Yes,
So
I
when
agree.
they hear it outside, it's still gonna go through their head how they learned it the first time. Just like when you learn a song wrong, it doesn't matter if you learn the lyrics correctly later.
Yes, yes.
You are still gonna say
still
that
the same
wrong
way
thing
that you
in your
know.
yes,
head.
Yeah.
Because we as adults can differentiate between right and wrong. We know
Some.
that, well,
Some.
we know that what they're speaking of in the music, when they're speaking of in these negative influences, sometimes that's our inside voices that they are vocalizing, but we know and they know the ramifications, the repercussion that's come from the actions of what they're speaking of.
Okay.
These 13, 14, 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds that are listening to it, they're not listening to it that way. They're seeing that as the way to
That's the lifestyle.
cool.
Yeah, I got you.
The
I
brains
got
aren't developed
Yeah.
enough
Gotcha.
to differentiate
No.
between reality and entertainment.
you. So
Yeah.
what inspired you to become this type of community? Is it safe for me to call you community leader, or
I don't really have a certain community that I lead, though.
okay, so
I network because I know that I can't recreate the wheel, but I
Okay.
can make a better rim.
Right.
okay, I got you. I
There
agree with
might
that.
be an organization that's in a different area of the city that has those kids on lock already. I can just provide them some other information and things that we're doing and trying to get started, where they can take that and
I got you. I
differentiate.
understand. I understand. Yeah.
I don't need to be in charge of anything. I already have my professional life.
I
I
got
just
you.
have an idea that I know can make a difference.
Right.
And I'm now slowly getting people to listen after 3
Okay.
years of
Oh, that's
almost
okay.
4.
It says-
running
it says
around the
that-
city looking stupid,
It
but
says
that's
not where you
okay.
start, it's where you end. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
to the
so
chat real quick.
partnering.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the chat, then we're gonna take some more questions. Maria said, hello, fam. Hello, Maria. Hello. Hey, we love you. Glad to see you here. April said, well, hey, what up, April? Glad
April?
you stopped by and hang out with us again on another Thursday. Good to see you. We love you. Thank you. So how did what?
I mean, what I hear you talk about is the networking and partnerships and networking. And I know you had said you mentioned the military in your opening. Did that help kind of like, I guess, teamwork and building teams and partnerships? Did that influence? Does it help you with the?
It wasn't just that. It
Right.
was the removal from the urban environment.
Okay.
Because just like when you see I call them kids, the kids getting locked up, and then they come back if they don't have a plan, or even somebody who has a substance abuse issue.
Right.
If they come back to the same environment without a plan in place or without somebody, they're going to do the same thing.
Right.
But I was told by people that where I was,
Right.
it was getting bad, so I needed to leave.
Where was that? Just I mean,
if you will.
No, I can't. I grew up in Southeast DC in the 90s. My parents lived on Bowling Air Force Base. My mother was in the Navy.
Right.
But every waking hour, I was up that hill, usually on 15th Place with my best friend's family.
Okay.
Being a military brat, that is more so like my family because I didn't grow up around my cousins, my grandparents, or anything. And I was usually the only one that looked like me in a lot of situations.
I got you.
But my sense of community service came from my mother. My mother grew up in she was born in 1950.
Okay.
They moved to Mobile, Alabama from the Chicago area. And she was not raised by her mother at that time because women of my grandma's social stature did not raise their children.
Okay.
So she grew up with Jim Crow, but she was being raised by the people who the Jim Crow laws directly affected.
Okay, she was raised by black people.
She was raised by black people.
Okay.
And when the Kennedys came along, that became cool for people of that social stature to raise their kids because the Kennedys have smaller kids.
Okay.
And my mother just told me that I have to use, you can't judge people.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And especially because my real father was a heroin addict and an alcoholic also.
Okay.
Very abusive physically and other stuff. But she taught me, addiction is a disease. He has a disease you don't, that's not the person. You have to get underneath that. And then also her joining the military in the 70s. At the end of Vietnam, she was a Vietnam era vet, so she never went over to Vietnam, but she joined in 73. She saw her friends coming back with what we now know as combat PTSD. And then she went into the prisons in Arlington, Virginia, and D.C. and taught illiterate adults how to read. She told me that you will learn and you will volunteer before you earn money because you will learn, one, the value of $1, and two, that you have to give back.
Give back.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And we protested, probably because we didn't have any money, so they were like, "Oh, we're gonna look in the Washington Post, see what's going on this weekend. Arts and crafts protest signs. We're going down to the mall. Let's go."
Right.
And so I saw, growing up in that environment, I grew up. I call it with like NPR and NWA.
Okay.
Right.
When I crossed that threshold into my house, it was yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes so no sir.
Okay.
I'm listening to classical music. I'm reading books. We didn't watch network television.
Okay.
I grew up on what was podcasts, back then on NPR.
Yeah.
But then outside, oh no, I was NWA, I was Too Short, Scarface, Go-Go.
DC, it had to be Go-Go. Right, if you're in DC.
I'm still a Go-Go fan.
Okay.
My knees, they're not kneeing anymore.
Your knees not kneeing anymore. I like that.
But I mean, I had a different experience growing up because I know that for one, I was the only one that looked like me, again, in a lot of situations, but it also taught me, like, you have to stand up for other people because just being white in itself was going to get me further than. But then when people hear my accent, they, I'm a culture vulture. I'm a cultural appropriating, and I'm like, man, I'm a victim or a product of my environment.
I got you.
I didn't really fit in when I first joined the military. Like I said, I got out. I joined the military in January of 1998. And 30 days later, my daughter's father got killed on the corner of Malcolm X and MLK.
Man. Oh, sorry to hear that.
So I couldn't come home for the funeral. That's okay. It happened, but it removed me. And like you said, when I was removed from that situation, that's when I was able to get that cognitive behavioral therapy and those behavior modifications that were needed and necessary for me to get like the critical thinking skills and the being able to see the different perspectives. It wasn't going after the people, it was going after the meat.
I got you.
But to me, it was, now I was a Morse code operator. I was signals intelligence. So anything that came off the radio frequency spectrum, I would take and turn it somehow into usable information.
Process, yeah.
Cryptanalysis, code breaker, big
you.
nerd.
Yeah, that's
been a
okay.
nerd,
That's okay. Ain't
gonna
nothing
be a
wrong.
nerd.
There ain't nothing wrong being a nerd.
Alan Turing is my hero.
So is your program is the program's up and started and running, or you just getting it started? Or
We're getting it started because the issue is trying to get people to listen to something that is completely
yes, I understand.
outside of the box. But when I sit there and think about it, that how much money did my family in the past make selling pots and pans door to door with their steel manufacturing company? I know it can happen. How many patents did? Well, my great grandfather had like 20 patents.
Okay.
He was an etcher. He did it all. So I got a brain that but I also know that I am different and my brain is different.
Right.
Yeah.
And I got an idea because I have lived in different environments.
Yeah.
And I'm able to sit back and see, like, there's two sides to everybody.
Right. Exactly.
Especially
Exactly.
living in an urban environment in the very violent place that I did grow up. I saw the violence, and my best friend and I were talking about it, like, oh, the violence is getting really bad. I was like, but, when we were younger and we were growing up, it was worse. We had 400 or 500 murders, I said, but it was our friends that were doing it, so we didn't notice it as much.
Okay. Right.
And it's sad, but some of those guys didn't know what they were doing at that age either.
So do you have a time frame when your program will actually be implemented and started?
We're looking at the kids' literacy as far as like the reading of the books to the kids and stuff. I think we're going to start filming in March.
In March, okay.
And then my goal is, because I understand that the literacy level is not what it needs to be.
Sure.
But
They
it
say
is
the
not
average, we read on a fourth grade level, some of us.
Because we haven't made it important. But
Yeah.
if you find a book for a kid that they're interested in, if it's that they're not able to actually read it, let's make sure they have an unabridged audio version available.
Okay.
Let's have a place where, like I said, the networking comes into place. On Saturdays from this time to this time, this is the book that this age would be going over, but they have a week to get through these chapters. So if they have to listen to it while they're doing the sight reading, or they are a little bit slow reader, they can still be part of the conversation without anybody knowing that until they get up to that, because we do have to understand the perceptions.
Yeah, that's true.
Meet people where they are. Meet people where they are and find out what they're interested in, and kind of
Right, and then you inherently find what's going to be their career, hobby, and craft. Like me, I got ADHD. Like if I'm not interested in it,
we all do.
We talk about it all the time.
I got
all the time.
I'm not gonna lie. It takes a certain amount of marijuana and Adderall to cross at that perfect time.
I hear you.
With my ADHD and medical marijuana, in order for me to be able to get everything out of my head.
I got you. Mm-hmm.
And I can only can't understand what like a kid would be trying to get through that and the urban environment stuff. What do you do when you walk outside and 19 of your 20 choices end up in a negative thing? And that's what I was able to get removed from and look at. All right, well, this is 5 steps ahead if I go this way.
Different way of doing it.
This is 5 steps.
Exactly.
And doing what I did in the military, I also know how you're going to get caught. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to go to prison by telling you how not to get caught, but I might nudge you to go
a different
way.
Yeah.
I know it can be done, and I'm not going to jail.
Yes,
I got you.
Stay out of jail.
You're a female. Not female, but you're a young lady of many hats, though. Mm-hmm. Many hats. So let's talk about the hat that you have on. You're promoting. You promote. How did you get into the promoting?
That is something that I did not want to do.
But you did hear my bars, right?
Yeah. That ain't my level of expertise yet. So what happened was,
go ahead.
The only people that I want around me as far as the community service or any of the groups that I do network and affiliate with have to be people who are not motivated by money or power, because I've seen, especially working in a top secret environment, that those two things will...
Absolutely.
When you're chasing that and the community is not in front, it comes at a price, and usually that price comes at a relationship that was important to you at some time in your life.
Yeah, I understand that.
Quite frankly, I don't get paid for any of the stuff I do. I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm in a position that, You know, I did my job. Like, I'm here because I want to be. I'm not here because I have to be.
That's true. That's true.
And about 8 months ago, I was at a community event, and I met somebody that Bit by Bay, and her and I just clicked. And then Tia from Urban Reed's bookstore, she likes like 3 people. She don't like anybody, but she likes me. It's like all the people that don't like anybody, we all like each other. Like, that's kind of messed up. And my friend Shay from a place called Crazy Sweets Cafe, and all of us excel in different ways.
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I have ideas and want to be the maker of stuff. I hate the business end of it. I don't want to be in charge of anything. I want to be the one grabbing the kids off the corner and, you know, that you want to duct tape to the wall and just line them up and smack them and be like, come on, let's find what you're interested in.
Yeah. And that's the main reason we started this podcast too, because man, we need to, if it was on the same lines what you were saying, whatever's on the inside of them.
Yeah, but a lot of times they're not going to tell the men, and I'm not trying to be funny, okay? I have kids that will sit there and tell me, Miss Morgan, I want to build a treehouse. Miss Morgan, I want to train a guide dog because my grandmother needs one. I want to do this. But when I see them on the corner, you think they're going to tell them?
No, I agree.
No, they're not. But even if I sit there and go to a man that I know has the means and capability of helping me get a program off, and I say, hey, I got these kids. These kids aren't going to make soap. They're not going to make this. Really? My mother told my ex-husband something, because he has had his issues. I'm very proud of him now, though. But growing up in an urban environment, stuff happens.
Right.
She said, you need to sell soap, not dope.
Yeah, I like
she said,
that.
it's 10,000 people a day on dope. It's 10 million people a day on soap.
That's true.
I want in on the soap market.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I never
learned
thought
how to
of
make
that.
soap.
Never thought of
And then when
that.
they raided my house, they found my soap and thought it was crack. I was like, come on. Now I'm in London trying to save the world, and you do this.
You gonna raid my house. All right, we'll go to
Thank you, Gun Trace Task Force. Yeah,
we can go to the chat real quick. Marie said, true, times have changed, so we can not know those children where they are in life. Audibles can assist as well. Yeah, that's what you just said. Yeah, that's awesome.
To make sure,
that's
and
true.
if there's not a audio version available, let's get with the author and the publisher and figure out how we can make, especially the books that are interested. The kids that are in the urban environment are interested in, because we have a different set of challenges. We have a different set. Why do you not see the monetizing potential of the things that they want in the urban culture instead of demonizing like dirt bikes? Why are you demonizing and not monetizing and not finding out a way we are known as the dirt bike capital. If you could sit there and figure out a way to not
build a track, do things.
Well, it's a dopamine response.
Right.
They have to, and this is what I do, like when you say like meet them where they are and stuff like that. These kids, again, because I am a veteran, I've seen my friends come back with combat PTSD. I've seen things that I'm never going to be able to get out of my head. I've asked the police officers that, right after 7 people got shot on my corner, and they're looking at me like I'm crazy out there I looked crazy that day, like, because I had belts and hats. I was like, I don't have any tourniquets, I don't have anything, but I'm doing something. But I asked him, I said, if you're not the first person on the scene, not the first officer, but if you're not the first person on the scene, then every single person out there, including those kids, babies, and parents, have seen that thing, but they don't have the opportunity nor the ability to go get the help that is needed.
That's true.
Right. Yeah.
And you expect them to then go back and lead a normal life.
Just be normal, right? Like nothing happened.
Yeah.
Go back and nothing happened. Yeah.
Yeah, I know they think I'm crazy in my neighborhood because I'm the one, and when people get shot, I'm like, all right, I got chest seals and tourniquets. Where are we going? Like,
yeah, man. I think that's kind of, man. That's a tough life to live, though. You know what I mean? In your neighborhood. I'm gonna go to Bmore Pod for real says, they love your passion. You can tell that she's true to her words. Yeah. Maria said, yes, Morgan, speak the truth. How you see your program changing? Is it just in your neighborhood or
No, the reason why I won't necessarily put everything out is because it is my intellectual property, and until I have certain things in place, this is actually a thing that can be plugged and played into another urban environment. They don't need a Morgan. They need somebody who is able to network and put these people together in that way. They don't need a Tia. They need somebody who is passionate about what Tia does. They don't need a BIP. They just need
the program.
the program.
The knowledge.
Because
The knowledge and
I
the-
sit
the
there and look
bones,
at everything, because one of my job, one of the jobs I could talk about was I was a theater collection requirements manager for UCOM. So for the European Command, I helped manage the intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance assets.
Right.
So I look at the things that I know from that, and I'm like, all right, this is how this network works, or, you know, like what can be done over here. But I'm also looking at the things that are happening in the world and how it's going to affect us, and us bringing production back. I see everything that we have on right now as a production opportunity for somebody in the urban environment.
Right.
Why can't we make it cool?
Yep.
You know, I don't need you to learn everything. I just need you to learn one thing inherently that we try everything. You find the one thing that you're good at, and then we find a way to capitalize on it. And we find a way to monetize it, but we make sure it's a fair market value. Like if you're sitting there paying $100 for a sweatshirt, then the person who is selling it is probably paying $30 for it. I look at that as, all right, well, how much is that fabric going to be? We need the one-time injection of funds for the machinery and such like that. But if we sit there and make it cool enough to find electricians that can, hey, I got 2 hours that I can donate this time.
He's an electrician.
I know. Why do you think I said it? I know. Even though he graduated from Coolidge, he's kind of cool.
He'll donate his time.
I know. But giving back like that little bit of time,
Yeah, we
because we don't
understand
have that sweat equity,
Right.
right? We don't have that sweat equity in the neighborhood. Think about the reason why when you step on somebody's shoes, I'm a sneakerhead, so I do get mad.
I saw your Instagram page.
I love it. That's my thing, because I ain't messing my feet up wearing heels, and I need to be able to get out of there.
Yeah.
But take that for example, though. Somebody gets mad when you step on the sneakers because they have worked hard for that.
Yes, that's true.
Let's bring that sweat equity back. It does not take a lot of people a long time or money to build a house if we all get a little
Together. That's true.
Right.
You know, we have enough spaces here. We sit there and keep talking about rebuilding the community. We need to rebuild our village. Why can't we? Why? Like, my mom used to tell me, today's her birthday. She would have been 74.
Wow.
And she's telling me, sometimes you just need to shut the fuck up and color. Just go sit in that corner. I was raised like you, and it's probably why I speak so much now is because I was raised children should be seen and not heard. And like when my grandmother came into the room, you had to curtsy. Like my brother, like you had to bow. Like it was very, very strict. And no.
Queen of England.
Yeah. Oh no. Definitely.
I know Norma C has a question for you. She said, "Sorry, I'm late." No way. Hey, you never late. Long as you here, you never late. She said, "But what's your process in regards to accepting applications? Do you have a process of accepting applications, or have y'all got that far yet?"
No, we haven't gotten that far because I want to see. My first thing is there is no consolidated list of nonprofits, or not even nonprofits, but community groups with the top 3 things that they service, nor the area that they service.
Okay.
So therefore, that citywide can be put into place so we know, all right, and then kind of like the CFC, the Combined Federal Campaign, right? They sit there and look at all the nonprofits. You have to hit a certain threshold. You are not allowed to spend over a certain amount of your expenses on. It has to go back into the community that they said. So look at those. And then those are the ones that I would see, all right, well, these are the ones that deal with more with teenagers. The ones that deal with teenagers, let's
network with them. Network, make
and that way we go that way because we don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
Because
That's
that is
true.
money that, like, if you know that you're passionate about 3 things, but you got 10 things listed, let's focus on your top 3 things
top
and then
3,
find somebody else who's passionate about these 7 that might be 2 doors down for you, but you didn't even know it.
Right.
So do you? So what you saying is it concept? Is it a concept, or have you actually implemented this in a neighborhood, or have you implemented this at all anywhere? And you see.
No, we haven't, and the reason why is I was working for about the last year and a half on a space that ended up, that would have ran everything, but ended up following,
Fell through.
Right. And I am now in the process of setting up a small makers area and using once we get, like I said, I have the strategic plan. And we will then start with the spreadsheet and the kids literacy program, and then that will flow into other things.
Okay.
'Cause like I said,
what I'm going to do, I'm going to hook you up with this other young lady that was here. a couple of shows ago,
Yes,
and maybe y'all
mm-hmm.
y'all get together, and maybe she can help you implement, and maybe y'all can use each other. And
Right, because Tia does. I know she has a lot of. She has books and stuff like that. And Tia also does a program where she sends books into the prisons.
Okay.
For both the youth and adults to do that.
Yeah,
Right.
networking is key.
We can go to the chat. Norma C says, so you'll build a system, then place it into various neighborhoods that you were saying, that there's a plug-and-play system, and I like it.
Why can't we have a Best in Baltimore, recipe contest wherever, like, all right, because DC, we got mumbo sauce. Everybody got their favorite mumbo sauce place. Right. Why can't we figure out this is something that we know that most Baltimoreans are going to be interested in, and that be the product that we have a contest for.
Okay.
We figure out how to produce it. We figure out how to... We got enough marketers. I'm not good at marketing. I'm not good at selling. I'm good at coming up with the ideas.
Last year had CEO of a market CEO of a marketing firm.
Everybody
so we got the marketing taken care of.
Everybody has their space.
Everybody
I need to be
have
good at everything.
Yeah. Exactly.
Go ahead.
So yeah, I mean, speaking of marketing and money, let's go to the sponsors. Who are our sponsors this week? Before we forget, we gotta get paid too.
We gotta get paid. We go to the sponsor. Let's go to Norma D. Treasure. She's on eBay. She got thousands of items. You go to her, and if you mention in the comment on her page on eBay, Norma D. Treasure, you mention Bmore Pod. If you say I got bars or something, you get that 10% discount. But yeah, go to Norma D. Treasures, and make sure y'all pick something up off that right there, and we'll be helping the community, helping us as well. So and we appreciate it, and I know she'll appreciate it also. Yeah. So y'all, we can do that. Our chat said, Money Game Network said we love you, Morgan. You know them?
Yes,
Yeah,
I know.
so I mentor two artists.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to get into that.
Yeah.
They said Money Game Network. What up, Money Game? Well, anyway, let's put on your.
I mean that had just happened. Zay is Lil Zay.
Okay.
He is.
Can you name drop? He
is really good.
Can you? When I talk to you, say I'm in the studio, Dennis. Can you do some name dropping up here?
Money Game Network. That's Mike. He is Young Easy's manager. Young Easy is actually one of So Raspy's artists, so Jadakiss artist.
She just name dropped, y'all. I don't think she said that. She just go ahead. Say it again.
But Young Easy, he's very talented.
Okay.
He actually has a show this weekend with Dave East that's coming up.
Dave East, that's Big Pun's son, isn't it? Is Dave Big Pun's son? No. Oh no.
It was like Wu-Tang.
Okay, Dave East. I hear he's on. I see him on Sway in the morning. I see Dave East on Sway in the morning doing freestyle. The boy, I don't want to call him a boy, but he's not. I know Corey Guns. Peter Guns is his father.
And then Young Easy will be there.
Okay.
And Bit by Bay, that's his booking. She was supposed to come today, but we had to move her fitting.
Okay. Well, she got to come on up here then, because I follow her. I follow her on Instagram, and I said she's a radio personality.
Yes, she is. I'm very proud of her.
Okay.
Like she does. She's
doing her thing.
Yeah, and sometimes people again need to be removed from their environment, and people need to be given a second chance.
Yeah, we all second, third, fourth, fifth.
But the thing is, and the chances and the second chances in an urban environment, just because of the things that are available for kids to get into negatively, not. I don't know how I said it first time.
It's okay.
It came out wrong. Are different than the ones in the suburbs. If you get you're playing with something. You take your neighbor's car in the suburbs. You might get a slap on the wrist. You steal a car in the city. It's different, but it's the same things that are happening. It's
yes, that's true. That's true. That's very true.
Right. Need distraction.
That's true.
So you mentioned Instagram. So I mean, if somebody wants to partner with you, maybe somebody hears what you're saying and want to be a part of it. I know you said it's not established yet, but can it reach you? Like how can somebody reach you?
Well, I have Violence to Vibrance. So Violence, the number 2. Vibrance. Okay. On both Instagram and at gmail.com.
Say it again, please.
Violence to Vibrance.
Okay. We'll put that in the in the chat.
Right, and you're looking for collaborators too. If somebody say, "Hey man, I like what you're doing," also I want to kind of
Right,
volunteer.
but it has to be. I do have to
Have your
see
stuff,
because
yeah.
I mean, then some people will just come around you just because of the strength of somebody else that I have in my circle.
Right.
But that's
So you're screening,
like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But but definitely you can use some help. I mean, it seems like
I think
a big
there's enough.
project,
There's
and there are
enough people
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
that
That is the
are
truth.
getting
That wants to
tired
be.
of the crap because,
Exactly.
like, and to me, because we're in a we have all the
It's DC.
elections and
Right,
stuff
DC.
coming up. Well, I mean, I'll actually be helping 2 people on their campaigns coming up. One for delegate and one for councilman.
Right.
But like I tell them, any money that politicians end up not trickling down to where it's supposed to do, they are directly Vibrance, Vibrance, Maria. I'm sorry.
Right.
They are directly responsible for these 12-year-olds that are standing on the corners.
Yeah.
Because money that should have gone to maybe some of these programs, I saw my neighborhood go down. I saw when the recreation center got closed. But from a budgetary standpoint, it made absolute sense to close that because I'm right on the verge of the EBDI fiasco. So the tax base was down.
Right.
The kids amount is up because, I mean, the census is never correct in the urban environment. But they put the budget into the bigger and nicer facilities, which don't get me wrong, again, from a budgetary standpoint,
monetarily.
It made sense, but from a crossing the border lines of territories that these kids at 10, 11, 12 years old, I mean, you think about the beefs in D.C. We don't have gangs, but there's been beefs between certain neighborhoods for decades that we don't even remember what it started from.
Exactly. You don't remember what? Yeah.
But we don't have anything for these kids.
That's true.
Like, some of these kids, like I told somebody.
Do they have any recreation centers right here? Any rec centers here?
So, you have the little mom and pop shop. That's why I said, like, having a centralized network of, like, even a spreadsheet of sorts of the mom and pop shops, the onesies and twosies of, hey, I got this idea, this is what I want to do, or the nonprofits that's down here that could be better suited and better serviced by partnering with somebody else. And then a lot of times you have the ones that have all the intents and purposes of doing great, but because they are not given that second opportunity, people who are going up for the grants look at their background and not where they're trying to go.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what I found is the most disheartening for my friends is I'm like, damn, I know they
mean well. Yeah.
They mean well. Like, they're the ones that are like out here on the streets and being able to take these kids that people look at and give up on and be like, nah, I don't want to give up on you, but we need something.
That's true. I
think
agree.
some of the programs need to be mandated by parole and probation, like, because that would also give them culpable deniability. That would give them a reason to not be on the street.
I saw in your, I'm going to go to the chats real quick. It is saying violent, the Vibrance.
Yes.
April spelled it right, correct?
Yes.
Maria said thank you. The Podcast Kings Network said, where's Miss Lisa? She was awesome. Well, Miss Lisa, that's my sister, and I still love her. But I don't know if she's coming back. I physically haven't talked to her, so I'm gonna leave it right there. But we still good though. Miss Lisa, she's awesome. She'll be around. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. So yeah, but
yeah, so it's about connect. Yeah, so definitely it's about connection, building a network, building a strong network. That makes sense because one person,
purposeful
purposeful network, exactly. Finding people, like-minded people, people with many different talents, putting it all together. I mean, it makes perfect sense because one person can't do it all. One person doesn't have the skill to do it all. And if you take, each your talent, your talent, and put it together, we can make a bigger thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's
and
awesome.
then look at things for different people's perspectives. Like I did a lot. I volunteered for over a decade at Paul's Place.
Right.
Over
What is that?
On Ward Street, 118 Ward Street in Pigtown. It started off as a soup kitchen, but then it ended up as a neighborhood outreach where you have to reinstall pride into people.
that's true.
You can't sit there and expect people to feel good about themselves if they're being kicked from every direction. And they give those, they give you the skills to, all right, we're going to start giving you small amounts of responsibility. Because people's coping mechanisms that aren't socially acceptable, most of the times weren't brought on because somebody wanted to be a crackhead.
That's true. That's true.
Wake up and say, you know what, I want to be a junkie. And that is my greatest feat. No, it's not. But why do they want to change if when they do go again to rehab, they come back and do the same thing? And I asked a girl in my neighborhood who had been in and out, why do you do it? She said, well, when I come back, I'm stuck in the same house that I messed up when I was using. I can't be around people who I want to be that aren't using like you because I used you when I was using. So the only people that want to be around me are the people that use. And that's where you have to remove yourself from the environment.
That's true.
Exactly. That's important.
That's true.
That's important.
But have something
have
for
something
them to
there.
do.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
true.
Have
That's
something
true.
to go to.
So that's the main thing. And like you said, that's why we started this, because I know about addiction. I grew up in a household where everybody was addicted to something. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna get deep into it. Alcohol is just as bad as any other. So
alcohol and gambling are two easiest to get.
Yeah, so
hardest to get rid of.
So that's the main reason we started, because I understand about growing up in a neighborhood that nobody can see the future. Because their future is what they're going through right then. And so I'm gonna use me an example. Me, when I was young, I used to drink, I used to party a lot. I still drink now, but then I had to have some type of coping mechanism to cope with the pain of my living condition. My conditions and my thought process was so bad, I had to have some form of escape. But I found out what really worked for me was this. That's why this is main. I keep coming back where I started. My main thing was you have to get a goal. If you get that goal inside of you, look, can't nobody tell me nothing about not reading, because I know about opening a book and you can't read out loud in front of nobody because everybody laughing at you. I know about these things. So I'm looking at me. I look at me and say, if I can do it, you can do it.
Do you see the guy on Instagram that for last year, his goal was to teach himself how to read 100 books?
Yeah.
And he ended up doing it. And unfortunately, he was down at the Breakers, the hotel, and they ran him off the grounds or whatever.
Right.
And that was the horrible part. But it was amazing that he taught himself like that. But normalizing, talking about what you lack, and this is where we have to kind of flip scripts sometimes, or flip the narrative to how we need to see it. If you ask for help, right, especially again in an urban environment, nobody wants to ask for help.
And we was taught not to.
Yes, because how do you get past generations of being told not to say anything? Keep it in the house.
We was taught that a man don't cry.
Right.
And
guess
man,
what?
And
y'all broken. We all broken.
We are.
That's how the light gets in.
We all are broken, and nobody have the answers.
Right, but if you sit there and step back and look at a different perspective and don't always go into something with a negative in your forefront, I've had really bad things happen to me. If I allowed all of that, you can't forgive and forget. You have to remember and recover.
That's it. I like that. I like that. Remember and recover. I like it.
It's some fucked up shit that happened.
Yes.
If your mind is a hallway,
go ahead.
That's that door zero.
Yes.
When you're in your feelings or you're a little bit tipsy or something, you might go peek in that door.
Yeah.
Close it.
Close it.
You already know that was the worst thing that you thought was gonna kill you, and
you got through it.
You got through it.
Right.
Don't let that stop, because if I from the time I was 3 years old, something happened.
Yeah.
And I just happened to be white, so they put me in therapy. So I had.
And like I don't know about Eric. I can't speak for Eric. I know when I was growing up, we ain't know nothing about no therapy. Suck that up, boy. Put you in the chest.
And see, unfortunately, because my mother, having seen her friends come back from, that, and the outbursts and stuff that I had, and because I don't care who you are, those daddy issues, and even though you know that the parent is not going to be there, you still have that. You're not my dad. My stepdad's been there since I was I don't even remember. He adopted me when I was 6.
I got you.
I did not get over those daddy issues till I was sitting next to my real father, and I was like, I don't know who this man is.
Yeah, I know.
I was 21. My mom was like, well, how's it feel sitting next to your dad? I was like, I don't know who the hell this man is. That's my dad's at home with you. And it was like, at that time when I was 21, I was like, oh my God, I put this man through so much.
I know about that too.
Right,
Look,
right.
we only have like 9 minutes, right? I'm gonna go to the chat real quick. Then we're gonna give some last closing words, and then I'm gonna let you say whatever you want to say. I'm gonna go to Maria. Say,
Yes. The violence to vibrance @gmail.com.
we're gonna read it out. So everybody, go ahead. You read it.
Do you have an email address if we in the community have additional questions or want to volunteer? Yes. The violence #2 vibrance@gmail.com.
So that's the IG and Facebook and all that.
I don't have Facebook.
No Facebook. Okay.
Just IG and Gmail.
Okay, but that's my daughter right there, Lil. What's up, Lil? You hanging out with Pops again tonight? Love you. Thank you. Maria said, yeah, and that's it. I agree with that. Maria said, yes, find your why.
Find your why, yep.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, you got to have that why, man. You got to have something to say, well, like me, am I going to take this drink today? Am I going to go out here and get fucked up today? Or I want my future.
Well, and guess what? I might be able to get you for 2 hours that one day.
Right.
Right? Then the next day it might be 2 hours and 1 minute.
Yeah.
It might be because you have found that thing. That's why I said it's important for everybody to try everything. I don't care if it's from lawn care to beating to whatever. Try it for a week or so. If that's the thing that shuts down that part of your head that is starting all that stuff to go, I do so much stuff, like with my hands because that shuts down the stuff that I don't want to think about.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah.
Same here. Well, that's what we're gonna do. We got like 7 minutes. I'm gonna start over here with my.
Plenty of time.
I know. I'm gonna start with you, bro.
Right,
I'm gonna start with you.
Yeah,
you got anything?
Like
anything you got to say? Anything
said,
at all?
This is why we're doing it. I mean, like even talking, speaking of all the past guests, we have like Pivot from Baltimore.
Yeah, Pivot. Yeah.
Oh, Pivot, Veronica.
Yeah,
Veronica. You know,
we have Veronica.
We gotta have her back up here. We gotta
Yes.
see, can we get her back up here?
The other day.
Yeah. So but this is, like I said, this is what we're doing. It's reach, building a community, like-minded people, like positivity. It's hard, but it's easy.
Yeah.
I mean, just one step at a time. We joke about the Zen thing, but that's it. Like just 1 minute at a time, one breath at a time, one talent at a time, one act at a time. Like you said, just take an hour. I mean, you might, do something for an hour. And then, that's all it takes, like a little bit at a time. It takes one person, it takes, and we can build a community. So, I mean, thank you for coming. This is exactly what we're doing. Family, we love you. Like, share, subscribe. Come on down and have a chat with us.
There you go.
You got stuff,
I got a
you
list of
got
people.
something to share.
Okay. Yeah, they more than welcome.
Come on, you got something to share. Come on with us. That's what we're doing, like building a community, positivity. Just 1 minute at a time, one day at a time, your talent make room for you.
That's it.
Like we already said, it's inside of you. Whatever you got, positive, we want it. We need it. And thank you for coming again, Morgan.
Morgan?
No problem.
You good?
Yep.
All right, Morgan, you got any closing words for the family before we go? Anything you want to, closing words, anything you want to leave somebody with something?
No, I just be yourself and just don't always go, like I said, don't go into the negative. And find what is your Zen, because some people.
Right.
I was a certified yoga instructor for combat PTSD and trauma until I had a freak roller skating accident and broke both my elbows and they don't work no more. But,
So you can't do yoga.
no, like they're like straighten your arms. I'm like, they are straight. Leave me alone. Like, they ain't no downward dog no more. But like my Zen, that's not my Zen because my brain never stops.
Yeah.
But there are things that I can do that is my Zen. So you have to find that. And if people laugh at you because you want to go fly kites, don't worry about it. Go look how many people fly kites.
Exactly.
So,
You'll find it.
Look at trains.
There you go. Ain't no wrong with that. You good?
Yeah.
Good. All right, family. This is man. I think this was an awesome show. Kevin told me to tell you hello.
Oh, yeah.
He said he missed you, and he told me to tell you what's up. Of course, he didn't say it like that. That was my voice, but he said what's up. Donald said like and share, great information. Thank you, Don. Thank you for showing up. We love you. Thank you very much. Maria said like this show, your talent will make room for you. Awesome, exactly. Donald said great last words. Well, family, hey man, I ain't got a lot to say, man. First thing I want to do, I want to thank everyone. We up to like 500 and
that's awesome.
500 something subscribers.
Organically is best.
We
too,
got
right?
we got over 20,000 views. 20,000 views in total. And we can't do this without y'all. We just want to thank you from the bottom of our heart. I will ask everybody for a favor though. If all the family members out there, if you want to do me a big favor, why don't y'all just share this video, comment and share it, and to help us out. To spread this light. You know, we just try and spread this little light on this dark place. If everybody shine a little light on a dark place, the whole room's gonna get lit up. We can change one person at a time. We know that we're not gonna say we are a savior or nothing, but we know how hard it is out here. We know what the sacrifice, and we know what the struggle is out here. And all we just saying, we went through it. All we saying, you can too. Right. And all you have to do is just tell somebody else, man, come on, you can do it. You know, I had to call my mentor a couple of nights ago. I don't know, he only listened to the show. He bought his business, he owned his business. But I had to call him the other night because I'm going through some stuff right now. And I had to get, because I was down and out, man. And he told me, Dennis, get up. Get up. You can do it. You can do it. You did it once, you can do it again. Don't let it stop you. You can do it. And that's all I needed. That's all I needed, just to hear you can do it. And I'm telling you, the greatness lies inside of you. And I'm telling everybody you can do it. Like you said, if your talent is flying a kite, that's what you put here for. But you know, the person that market kites make millions, and it's not about the money. It's that they fulfilling their dreams, and that's why we're here. If you fulfill your dreams, you ain't got time to worry about or look at nobody else, and that's what we're telling you to do. Eric Duzen, right. She wear many hats. Hey, she just told me I got my recording contract. So
I ain't never do that.
So because y'all know I got these bars. Maria said up earlier she got bars too. So we're gonna do this thing, man. And family, we love you so much. Your talent would definitely make room for you. All I can say, don't stop, cause you always gonna have problems, always gonna have trials, always gonna have tribulations. But keep going and don't stop. That's all I got to say. Got anything before we go?
I mean, that's it, man.
That's it? Anything? We got a couple of seconds.
We're all broken. Like I said, we're all broken. That's the only way the light gets in, man. Like, you know, that's how the light gets in, from the broken pieces.
And only way we're going to fix, we help each other heal.
Yep. Walking each other home.
That's it. Got anything to say, Morgan, before we go?
I greatly appreciate the opportunity.
Man, we glad you're here.
Awesome. It was beautiful.
We're glad you're here. We're glad you got to come back.
I will.
We got to come back. Bring whoever you want back. Then I'm going to give that concert. Y'all going to hear these bars. Y'all gonna hear this freestyle. Y'all gonna hear me kick it. Can I kick it?
No,
yes, you can.
Can I kick it?
Exactly. Maybe.
Wait a minute. I think I'm biting some out stuff, man. Family.
Exactly.
We love you so much. We thank y'all for showing up. We thank all our subscribers, man. I thank you. I love you. Don't forget, tell somebody else. Subscribe, share, and like.
Comment on the videos.
Comment on the video.
Let's talk about it. The hour is so short. You know what I mean? We got so much stuff to talk about. You know, tonight, matter of fact, I'm going to go back tonight. Some stuff we missed. You know, I'm going to talk. Let's comment about it. Let's talk about it.
There you go.
Questions, comment about the thing.
There
Let's keep it going.
Don't forget, hit Morgan up. Yeah. I think that's our show.
That's it.
That's our show. That's our show. That's our show. We gotta go. Gotta go because that's the show. It's a wrap, baby. Let's go and get out of here. See you, Lisa. Thank you for coming.
It's a cold, cold world, a cold one. It's a cold, cold world. Yeah. It's a cold, cold world, a cold one. It's a cold, cold world.